Question number 4 is with the number 5 team in Borzello's preseason top 25. I actually agree with him on this team being a preseason top 5 team. Will Gonzaga be better defensively without its best defender? And just for context, last year they finished 5th in America in offensive efficiency on KenPom, and they finished 51st in America in defensive efficiency on KenPom. Fanta, how do you feel about the Zags?
I feel very good about Gonzaga. I think that they are a national championship candidate and are going to be in the mix. Do I think that they'll be better defensively? Well, I don't know about that. I mean, and that's a big question, because if you're not, you can't simply win everything 97 to 91 when you play the elite. You're going to have games where you're going to have to get stops on the defensive end of the floor. But you know, Ben Gregg, I think that there's promising signs for this kid, and I like some of what I've seen from him thus far. Graham Ike has to step up and be a dog now. You know, he's got to take things to the next level with a full off season. He understands what Mark Few wants. They're going to be able to outscore a lot of people, and they're going to be able to get by with that. But they have to develop that backbone, and it's absolutely correct. You know, Anton Watson was invaluable to the Zags in the way that he defended. You know, that they brought in this Tarleton State transfer, Emmanuel Innocenti, who is known for his defensive capabilities. Tarleton to Gonzaga, the caliber of competition they're going to be playing in non-conference, and then in the NCAA tournament, it's a different monster. Ryan Nemhard is such a composer. He is so good at managing a game, and sometimes your best defense is your offense, and your ability to control the game offensively, get high percentage shots, and make those shots. But I do think it's a very valid question, because I think that's why, if you asked me for a faith meter on some of these teams that are maybe after, I'll take Alabama and Kansas out of the running, right? If you ask me who I have the most faith in, if you put a collection of, let's just say, UConn, Houston, Gonzaga, and Baylor, and even Iowa State, if you rank those teams defensively, Gonzaga would probably be 4th or 5th of those teams. Houston and Iowa State would be better. UConn, I'll put better right now, because they've won back-to-back national championships in Dan Hurley's master system. Where Gonzaga, this is a very, very good question about them. We just have to see how things align. But look, does that front court have the options to be mean and to defend at a high level? Yeah, but we all know this in this. T.O. better than anybody. He played at a high level in college. Defense comes down to connectivity and effort. You know, you've got to want it. And this Gonzaga team's got the leadership, but they've got to be better on that end of the floor. Last year, they were a turnstile defensively at times.
I thought it was funny that the person that Borzello singled out, Innocente, didn't score against IPFW in his last game of the season. And is Gonzaga going to be okay? Is Few going to be okay with putting a guy who's not a threat offensively out on the floor for elongated minutes, even though he's an elite defender? You got a lot of guys that are really good on one end of the floor. Will they be just as good? I think, you know, you have to step up. And I guess Ben Gregg, who's shown good things, he's going to have to be a connector and communicator on the defensive end of the floor. So we shall see. Do I think they'll be better defensively without Anton Watson? Probably not, but their firepower offensively is as good as there's going to be.
Yeah, I do think that the injury to Steele Venters is going to hurt, because it's going to take away
hurt defensively.
No, just hurt overall, because it's going to take away a little bit of their lineup versatility, in the sense where I thought that there were lineups where you could put Ajayi and Venters out there at the 3 and the 4 together, and you maybe would be able to match up a little bit. I do think that as much as I like Ben Gregg and Braden Huff and Gonzaga kind of figured that part of it out down the stretch last season, you are in a situation where you're kind of looking at playing 2 bigger, slower defenders, one of whom is going to have to guard somebody on the perimeter. And when you look at some of the best teams in America, you don't necessarily have two slow-footed guys where Ben Greggs is closer to a 5 than a modern 4 to me. And you're going to have him running around, chasing somebody around on the perimeter. So I think that losing a little bit of that lineup versatility is something that could hurt them. But I don't think it's necessarily going to matter. We're looking at a team that is going to be like a top 3 offense in the country. And if they're top 50-ish defensively, they can win a title.
Yeah, they can. Really good point.